So we continue. We are going to the end term. Is it end term? So katasi yako ya opener. Opener. Identify 8 historical books in the Old Testament. 8 marks. There is room for correction. I've not uploaded. There is room for correction. So historical books. Yes. Sorry. Yes. 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 So Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd Chronicles, 1st and 2nd Samuel, Esther, Nehemiah, and Ezra. Question 1b. Give 7 reasons why the Bible is referred to as a library. Why is the Bible referred to as a library? Yes? Yes, different authors. Yes, many books under one cover. You wanted to say that? Yes, for different people. Yes. That's why it's a library. Yes, just like a library, it's a reference book. Yes, very good. In a chronological order. Yes, yes. In different styles. So that reminds me, you have a lot of difficulty in spelling. Spelling. You need to improve on your spelling. You have a lot of spelling mistakes. So, reasons why the Bible is referred to as a library is because many books are compiled under one cover. There are 66 books. The book has different authors. It was written during different times. It is divided into categories, just like a library. It is divided in categories. Point number 5. It is systematically arranged. It is also it is written in different styles. Originally, it was written in different languages. Some of the parts were written in different languages or in the original one. And then it's written for different purposes. So you have different topics there. And then it is for different readers. I think we talked about systematically arranged. Question 1c. State 5 different occasions when Christians use the Bible. 5 marks. Occasions. When you're told about an occasion here, people are not getting it. Occasion is an event. Basically, it's a social activity. So it's a place. You talk about that place. You talk about that place and the activity there. That's what how you're supposed to answer this question when you talk about occasion. So the place and the activity. So you're talking about it's used in courts. Or you can just say it's used for swearing in a In a court. You've already mentioned the place and the The activity. Yes. So, also it is used in where? Yes, in weddings. There you say it is used in ceremonies. For example, a wedding or a funeral. That is one point. Yes, another one. What did you write? Yes. Yes. Or you can say it is used in schools as a reference book. It is used for also swearing in public offices. Because in court, they swearing in court, but being sworn in a public office, some are sworn in it's called State House. Yes. So it's a different area. That's another point. Also preaching in a church service. Or you can say it's also preaching in a In a crusade. Question 2a. Outline the activities carried out by the Israelites on the night of the Passover. Yes? Yes, the smearing of the blood on the doorpost. Yes, they ate unleavened bread with the bitter herbs. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, they borrowed jewelry from the Egyptian women. So Egyptian women, yes, Israelite women borrowed jewelry from the Egyptian women. Sorry? Yes, they were supposed to roast the whole, so they roasted because it's already took place. So they roasted a whole animal without breaking the bones. Yes? Oh, they were supposed to eat everything. Yes. So, point number one, there are many activities here that took place. Number one, they were supposed to choose a lamb. Whoever was saying a sheep, there's someone who told me a goat. You've not revised. It's a lamb, each household. If it was big, you're supposed to share with another, you're supposed to join hands with another household. So, but you say there's a choosing of a lamb, then you slaughter the lamb or you slaughter the animal, and the blood, you do what? You smear it on the doorpost. You can say the door linen. Also, the animal should be roasted whole. They were supposed to eat the meat with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. They were supposed to eat while fully dressed. They were supposed to stay indoors. And then they were supposed to burn the leftovers. That's another activity. And then they were supposed to borrow what? To borrow jewelry. The night, remember you are told here the night of the Passover. What? The activities carried out by the Israelites. So when you are talking about the killing was not in the Israelites. It was on the Egyptian side. The killing of the firstborn son. Question 2b. Give 5 reasons why the Exodus was important to Israelites. 10 marks. Why is it important? Tell me. Yes, you want to say something? Mm-hmm. Yes, it marked the end of oppression or suffering. You get 2 marks. Yes? Mm-hmm. Yes. It united the Israelites as a nation. True. That's point number 2. They emerged chosen by God. They emerged as the people who are chosen by God. That is point number 3. They emerged. To emerge like people who have been chosen by God. It was also, some people wrote this point, some of the students wrote the point and it was good. It was also a fulfillment of the promises. Fulfillment of the promises that God gave to who? To Abraham. That is another importance of the Exodus. Also, it showed that God is mightier than the Egyptian gods with a small g. So it showed that God is mightier than the Egyptian gods. And the last point is that it confirmed Moses as a chosen leader. So if you rate all of them, mark the end of oppression, united Israelites, it emerged the Israelites as the chosen by God. It was the fulfillment of the promises. It showed that God is mightier than the Egyptian gods, and it confirms Moses as a chosen leader. Question 2c. How do Christians show respect for God? 5 marks. How do you show respect to God? So, give me the answers. Yes? Yes, offering sacrifices. Yes, keeping the Sabbath day holy. Yes? Yes, worshipping. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. So by praising him, or you praise God, you give tithe, you live an exemplary life, or you live as a good moral model. You care for the environment. You look after the needy. You preach. You do not mention the God's name in vain. Also, you set a day of worship. That is what he was saying. You keep the Sabbath day what? Holy. You also set aside a place of worship. Many. You pray. You pray also. That shows respect to God. Question 3a. Explain the achievements of Solomon as king of Israel. Here, some of the students were confusing Solomon with his father who? David. Yes? Yes. Yes, true.
Maintain political stability in the nation of Israel.
He brought it to the temple, the Ark of the Covenant. Yes. Any other point? So he built the temple. You're supposed to start that with. That's point number 1. He's referred to as the wisest king. He was wise. Remember, he prayed to God for wisdom. So he also had an organized administration. He had an organized administration, and he had a strengthened military. He also developed trade with Tyre, king of Tyre. He maintained peace in Israel, and then he brought the Ark of the Covenant to the temple or to Jerusalem. He brought the Ark of the Covenant. Question 2b. Give 5 reasons why the Exodus was important to the... 3b. State the importance of the temple in Jerusalem to the Israelites. What's the importance of the temple? There are very many points. Over 10. Yes?
Where all the Israelites met worship God.
Yes.
Is where different types of sacrifices were offered to God.
Sacrifices were offered there, Samuel? Yes, it was a trading center. Yes, it was a living place for the priests. So, number 1, it was where it symbolized God's presence in Israel. It is where worship was done. You've already mentioned that. It was where animals for sacrifice were bought in. They were bought in the temple, animals for sacrifice. Sacrifices were offered, point number 4, in the temple. It was a residence for the priests. This is where the priests lived, or the Levites. It was where also the religious festivals were celebrated. It was an academic center. Why are we calling it an academic center? Because law was taught there. Purification and dedication rites were done in the temple. Purification and dedication rites were done in the temple. And it was also where the Ark of the Covenant was kept. It also acted as a law court. And it was a trade center. Question 3c. Give 6 lessons that modern political leaders in Kenya can learn from King Solomon. So, political leaders, from the achievements of Solomon, what do they learn from the achievements, and what do they learn from what he did not do? Number 1 is you pray for God's wisdom. You pray for wisdom. So, as a political leader, you should pray for wisdom. You pray for God's wisdom. Not to enforce labor. Remember that he enacted forced labor in Israel, so not to enforce labor. Also, as a political leader, you should avoid immoral marriage. Remember, he had many what? Wives and concubines. So you avoid immoral marriages. Also, you should not be influenced into evil practice. Remember, the foreign wives are the ones who influenced him to worship what? Idols. So you should not be influenced into evil practice. Also, you should maintain faith in God. Maintain faith in God and not to get drunk in power. You should not get drunk in power.